The Florida Aquarium has teamed up with the local brewing company Coppertail to release a new beer called Coral Haze, which is a hazy pale ale brewed with Calypso hops, as well as hops grown, get this guys, at the Florida Aquarium.
We have so many questions. Joining us to close the show is Eric Hovland, a.k.a. our shark guru from the aquarium, and Sam Vips from Coppertail. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. So happy to be here.
Our first question was like, how did the shark guy get involved with the
Shark guy's got to have a hobby. We've been buddies with Coppertail, our neighbors right down the street. Been following their scene, you know, Florida beers coming to Florida. It's so exciting to watch that hop craze growing in Tampa Bay. I mean, we are a destination for brews. We're not just the #3 aquarium in the country, by the way, but we have some of the best beer in the country right here. So it's just a natural partnership to grow with our Coppertail brewery, brewing a beer in honor of the coral conservation work we're doing at the Florida Aquarium to help save coral reefs right here in Florida.
So literally when you buy this beer, which is not technically out yet, right? We still got a couple
more
hours.
days.
Yeah.
Wait till Friday, the party's coming.
Yep, I've been working hard to get it into distribution to make sure we have it at the aquarium as well.
Right.
So you hear about this partnership and what comes to mind? I mean, this is so cool.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely excited. I actually worked at the aquarium when I was 18 years old with the travel camp. So I was running around with kids there. I grew up in Tampa, and I've been with Coppertail basically since we started, and I think it's an awesome mashup. It's so great to work with Eric and everybody at the aquarium, and to help the environment around us too.
Yep.
Well, and speaking of, don't we have video? I believe that what is happening with the coral and what you guys are able to do with it?
It's almost spawn season. So we're talking about one particular coral, staghorn coral, although we also help pillar corals. And yes, so pillar corals are in dire straits now in the coral reefs of Florida and the Caribbean. Our scientists are working with these corals to help make a huge difference to not either rescuing corals, you could rescue corals too, not just turtles, not just other animals, and bring them back to our Center for Conservation to study them and understand what's happening to them in the wild where they're facing disease, climate change, warming waters. All these things have huge impacts on corals. So a couple of things we can do. We can better understand their health needs and try to meet those and change them in the wild environment. Also, spawning the corals, like the staghorn corals. The corals featured right here on our glassware. You can get for $5 at Coppertail. And yeah, check that out. So that's actually featuring the staghorn corals that were once prevalent in the Keys and Caribbean, but have seen a huge decline. The corals at the Florida Aquarium are a huge part of our conservation message, in that we have actually been able to sexually propagate this coral species before anyone else in the world could do it. That's a huge thing. And it's also helping those corals and building an archive of the different genetics. Like we're all different genetics. So if we can have those corals growing in our environment, perhaps there's hope for them in the wild as well.
Well, okay. I don't know if you've noticed, but Carly and I also learned about hops. And at the very intro, we talked about some of these hops by the Florida Aquarium. I had no idea how they're really pretty, and they smell good too. I don't know, you assume they're going to smell like beer.
We love everything about hops.
So apparently this is what we have to do here. We're taking a look at one, but before there I'm holding it. You're supposed to place it in your hand. Like
Gonna do a little of this.
Break it up.
We have just about 30 seconds left. What's interesting, you guys literally grew these at the aquarium.
We did.
Not in a huge quantity.
I got to shout out to Coppertail too. This is no ordinary beer. Every time you do this with a pint of Coral Haze at Coppertail or the Florida Aquarium's Fin Bar, $1 goes into the conservation program. 50 barrels. About 10,000 pints. Do the math. That's a lot of coral conservation in your
big
glass.
party we want to make sure before we're out of time. Friday launch party.
4 o'clock.
Very important to bring up.
Our CEO and president pouring the first pint.
Love it.
Drinking the second.
That's Coppertail for it.
We got to add beer guy to his start title. What do you think? Woo!
All right. Well, hey, on the next.